It is once again a privilege and for sure an honor to be entrusted with the responsibility of leading our country as your Prime Minister. The unwavering support and trust shown in the snap elections on the 19th of August 2024 are, in my opinion, a testament to our conviction and belief of the people of St. Martin that St. Martin must be able to do better. I'm forever thankful to you, the people of St. Martin, for the trust you have placed in me and for granting this new coalition government the mandate to serve you, to uphold the values of our island nation, and to continue to work towards a better St. Martin. In January 2024, to be exactly the 11th of January, we had an election already on this calendar year 2024. Everybody was relieved that some movements was going on for a new era of a new look about how we should deal with politics in our country. At the end, on the 3rd of May, we could actually establish our government after a long screening period. And 17 days later, on the 20th of May, the government, with me as leader, lost the support in Parliament. I think the 20th of May is one of the most historically important days for the future of politics for country St. Martin. We did not deserve this. The people of St. Martin didn't. We were encountering great challenges, and still we had the guts to do this with a country that is going through some big challenges. I had no option than to call election again. A very brave move after such a short period being in government, actually 17 days. There is no rationale, no logical thought that can explain that there was justification for what has happened. It only confirms that we are a very young, inexperienced country in which personal agendas is still playing a big role. But that is what we thought until we got the opportunity again to vote on the 19th of August. And we are sitting with committed ministers again to start again to move forward this St. Martin. Earlier today, as part of the formal transition process, we have had the momentum that we had to actually discharge two ministers from their responsibility. One, of course, my dearly Minister Veronica Jansen-Webster. I would like to make use of this opportunity to really thank her out of my heart for everything that she has done for the people of St. Martin with her ministry. And also we have worked with Minister Lyndon Lewis. Minister Lyndon Lewis, I would like to also thank you for the works that you have done for the people of St. Martin. The only way that we can continue to move St. Martin forward is only together. The strength of our nation lies in our unity, and only a collective effort will bring forth the outcomes we seek. No matter our backgrounds, our accomplishments, or aspirations, we are ultimately bound together by a shared vision of wanting the best for our country and our people. It is a collective desire to see a prosperous nation, one of growth, one that can take care of its people and whose people can take care of their island. It is this unity that will empower us to rise above our current challenges. A lot of people are asking me on a daily basis, how have you experienced the last 6 months? As a minister that was not accustomed to do this before, but as a surgeon working actually in a total different sector. The answer that I gave them was always the same. Look how much gray hair I got, and look the beard that I have now. At the other end, I have experienced this phase as the most learnful phase of all the universities and academic hospitals that I have visited. I have learned to know how our people think. I know how patients think when they're sick, but I didn't know really how people of St. Martin think under different circumstances. I can tell you something great of the people of St. Martin. They are very resilient people. But they have also a less good side, that they all know very good how to talk about problems, show all the dimensions of the problem, but when you ask them, and now, what's the solution, you're going to see that a silence will follow. It is sometimes very difficult in a small community where everybody knows everybody has an opinion, everybody knows exactly what the problem is, but there are not much people motivated to go the extra mile to solve the problem. I would like also to make use of this opportunity to join this government in enforcing us to solve our problems that we experience together. The challenges we face may be great, but our potential as a nation is greater, and so I and the rest of the newly sworn-in Council of Ministers will make the best use of our unique perspectives and strengths to meet these challenges head-on. I truly believe that through collaboration, dialogue, and action, we will continue to see progress. Our socio-economic development, our healthcare, strengthening of our institution, implementing sustainable energy solutions, and increasing our resiliency to the growing effects of climate change are some of the major areas of focus necessary for us to grow as a country.
On behalf of the Department of Community Development, Family and Humanitarian Affairs, it gives me great pride and pleasure to extend an invitation to the fathers and men in our community to our last and final session on Just for Dads and Men Masterclass on Friday, November 29th from 6:30 until 8:30 p.m. The masterclass will be taking place in conference room 1 and 2 at the government building, and we will have a session entitled Rights and Responsibilities of Fathers, and that will be presented by none other than Mr. Marciano Geert. After that, there will be a motivational presentation to the audience by Mr. Star Peterson. So once again, we are extending this invitation to the fathers and men in our community to join us in this transformative event this coming Friday, November 29, 2024, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. in Conference Room 1 and 2 in the Government Administration Building.
Your social and health insurances. Your social and health insurances.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXV, yeah. Your social and health insurances.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to keep in mind to help keep you and your family safe. The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th, with the peak occurring between mid-August and late October. This hurricane season, be sure to put together a go bag. A disaster supply kit including a flashlight, batteries, cash, first aid and supplies, medications, and copies of your critical information if you need to evacuate. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
But Fernando, you said something that really caught my attention. You said that the Elridge or the Ellie in Aruba was a different person than the Elridge in St. Martin. I mean, there's always a joke that St. Martin has changed people. I want to say for the better or for the worse. We just gonna leave it at it has changed people.
It changed people.
Let's go a little deeper into that observation. Please share a bit more about that.
You know, when Eldridge came to St. Martin, when I met Eldridge in St. Martin, he had more leadership quality than what he had back in Aruba. Now you have to remember he was probably, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe one before the last of all the children, I believe he was, right? And when you're growing up, the oldest one is the leader, okay? And then whoever's older is leader of whoever's younger. That's how family were created, you know, how they existed. So you always listen to your older brother or your older sibling or something like that, okay? So he had maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 above him, correct?
Okay.
Yeah, he had 5 above him. Yeah, he was the 6th, and then there's another sister after him.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll tell you another family. Huh? But people got to realize this about Ellie. Ellie was a union leader, you know.
Okay.
Ellie had a problem with the workers. The problem, let me say it so. The workers at Port-au-Plaisance after Hurricane Louis had a problem with their jobs and their salaries. To make a long story short, they were being fired and had to reapply for their jobs. Some of them would get, some wouldn't. Eldridge represented them, and he got the biggest payout in the history of the Netherlands Antilles. With a leader go under the bridge like, oh, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Eldridge got the biggest payout in the history of the Netherlands Antilles, and that has not been matched yet. Okay? But we forget those things. We forget Eldridge and what he accomplished. Now, some of the workers were not happy with certain details in the payout because they look at it like Eldridge was the leader. He was not an employee of Port-au-Plaisance, and he got a big payout. Okay? And some of them felt he didn't deserve that. Mind you, you know, they got what they had to get. Okay? And then we know about the court case with all of that and the say. And I could tell you about that case because Eldridge sat with me and not only told me about it, he showed me the document, the court documents and everything from the beginning to the end. So I know the case. My uncle, who's a lawyer, also was privy to those documents. Okay. So the Eldridge that I knew in Aruba did not show leader quality up to when when we left Aruba. Then the Eldridge that I got to know here, he showed leader qualities, and you saw it in him. And I don't know if Samuel could have come to this and his other siblings, but if you say Van Putten, or you tell somebody, I am a Van Putten, the first one, you Ellie brother, or you Ellie sister, Eldridge, let me put it that way. Because the name Van Putten became synonymous to Eldridge. Okay? In the past, you would have been, if you say Van Putten, they'll probably ask you, are you George Van Putten's son or nephew or whatever have you. But then Eldridge brought that, how would I say? You have Van Putten, you think Eldridge.
Yeah, it became synonymous. Yeah.
Right. That's the word I was looking for. Okay? Because Eldridge was a leader, and those are the qualities we saw in him. And he was a no-nonsense guy. You couldn't come to Eldridge with no. I remember Eldridge telling people things on my program that I had to tell no, Eldridge, I have to apologize for saying that. I remember one time he called Sarah Westcott Williams a dodo, on the program. And I said, no, Eldridge, you can't do that. You have to apologize. He told me not apologizing. He thought about it, and he came back and he said, hey, listen, I will apologize on radio, and whenever I see the good lady, I will apologize to her in person also. Okay? Those qualities are the qualities I did not see in the Eldridge from that I knew in Aruba, and the Eldridge that I knew in St. Martin.
Well, he wasn't just a leader. He was a humble leader. Eldridge was also a school bus driver. And at that time, Eldridge used to drive literally the biggest bus on the island at that time. And we used to transport children because children was always part of the day. So we used to transport children coming through Hidden, and we used to go through Grand Cause, French Quarter, bringing children to the Max School and Academy School and Milton Peters College. So he had not just with adults, but he also had a respectful position with young people. Because if you didn't have something to eat, if you didn't have something to drink, he would make every effort, even if he didn't have the money in his pocket then, he gonna find a way to tell, listen, come back and pay, but give the child it now, because the child wants it now. So it was not just among adults where he became known, where they can see kindness in him, but even among the younger generation then that are now adults. I sometimes go, like Clark said, sometimes you go places and I would get special favors because of Eldridge, even to this day. Because those children that were small then are now grown, and they still would remember some kindness or some goodness of Eldridge.
health insurance. SZV, your social health insurance.
Are you SZV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SZV is cardless. Request your My SZV account today and enter the virtual office of SZV. Go to szv.sx and sign up now.
SZV, your social health insurance.
On behalf of the Department of Community Development, Family and Humanitarian Affairs, it gives me great pride and pleasure to extend an invitation to the fathers and men in our community to our last and final session on Just for Dads and Men Masterclass on Friday, November 29th from 6:30 until 8:30 p.m. The masterclass will be taking place in conference room 1 and 2 at the government building, and we will have a session entitled Rights and Responsibilities of Fathers, and that would be presented by none other than Mr. Marciano Geert. After that, there will be a motivational presentation to the audience by Mr. Star Peterson. So once again, we are extending this invitation to the fathers and men in our community to join us in this transformative event this coming Friday, November 29, 2024, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. in conference room 1 and 2 in the government administration building.
It's time for a new brand that is as bold, vibrant, and colorful as the island of St. Martin, with colors drawn from our diversity, cultural heritage, and nature. Our breathtaking beaches, waters, and sun, the majestic brown pelican, our national symbol, the radiant yellow sage, our national flower, the historic border monument signifying the Dutch and French sides, our exciting cruise, yachting, and boating ports, renowned Maho Beach and St. Martin Airport, the hub to the Caribbean. All these parts come together to create the shape of the island of St. Martin. More than a logo. It's a new brand that engages, excites, and will inspire travelers to book. It's time to tell the St. Martin story, to reintroduce travelers to St. Martin, to honor our past, to embrace our present, and shape our future. Our culture and diversity, Dutch and French sides, unrivaled cuisine, twice the nightlife, entertainment, and shopping, cruises, boating, and yachting, twice the adventure, exploration, and relaxation, splendid and scenic accommodations, Pinel, Tentamar, and island hopping in the Caribbean. Whatever your taste, St. Martin has more. Experience twice the Caribbean. St. Martin.
He with Arlene, 9 years. Leave Arlene, and in less than a year, he got married to Jusin. Less than a year, he got married to Jusin. Whether because Jusin got pregnant, and Jusin goes to church, and Jusin parents say, you cannot have a child out of wedlock. Well, he's married, less than 1 year. how you think Juicing going to feel? I give you 9 years of my life. We together. We didn't bargain breaking up. We didn't bargain leaving. I give you 9 years of my life, and I give you a son, and you leave me. And in less than 1 year, you got married another woman. You don't even know the woman. Ah! Juicing is hurt, Papa. Arlene is hurt, Papa. Arlene is hurt. She is thinking about all the secret that she shared. She have revealed the best of her to him. And she probably had plans to get married. Arlene is devastated. And you know, some of us, well, I can't say some of us, but some of you might be in that position. I hope not. But I know many people are in. My office is full. Every week I work with persons who have never considered the familyness that is involved in their relationship or their marriage. And then they come to me and they begin to talk about the wars that is happening. And my duty is now, I have to draw a family tree and circle and put arrow and say, listen, this is what you are living in. And up to press time, I haven't found a person who said, I have thought about it. Because most don't. They just think about the relationship. I meet the woman, I love the woman, whether her physical feature, whether the way she talk to you, whether the way she make you feel. Ah, you make me feel like a natural. Ah. It doesn't matter. It's just between both of them. And then they must live in a dynamics that they did not calculate. And then the relationship begin to suffer because now they have to deal with the familyness. So Juicing didn't calculate having to come and deal with Gary, ex-girlfriend. She didn't calculate, if I could throw in a term, that I'm going to have an ex-girlfriend-in-law. She didn't calculate that. All she looking is Felix. Not Gary, sorry, Felix. Just Felix. Felix, Felix. And now she has to deal with the mess of Arlene, who is raged and decide, I'm not hurting alone. How do we get to deal with the hurt, the betrayal, the disappointment? How do we get to deal with all of that? Family, this is where the parenting relationship become real messy. It is often warped. It is warped in all of this. Because when people sit down to talk, yeah, but you remember what you do. You remember this. You remember that. Ah, problem. We think it's just provision. It's not just provisional. You are going to be dealing with the brokenness of that relationship.